So, education is the process where is gathering for the students looking for a knowledge, and then the knowledge is used in a Christian class. Can be made an example. These kinds can develop track reaction and sincerity. Someone inside understand these kinds.
In Christian education, there are goals in its achievement, namely, first, releasing the needs of the church, which requires leaders with good educational background. Christian education answers this need because in Christian education, it educates by forming personal character. Second, apart from leaders who need a good educational background, church members also need it. Here, Christian education is present for church members. Third, through the two goals above, Christian education begins to open itself in the wider community to get a good education through this Christian education. Then, the benefits of this Christian education are, first, can raise awareness of the goodness of God because solely in Christian education, the value of divinity in the Christian faith will be instilled. Second, Christian education also provides an understanding of teaching of Jesus in the field of education. Third, Christian education is also talk about the characteristic of being a good Christian and a person who grows in God.
Next, I will explain the metaphor of the three-legged chair. Christian education is like a chair with three legs. A chair would be perfectly comfortable if its legs were as long and nothing broken. Christian education is no exception. 3 feet, it is the home, church, and school. All three must have the same responsibility, nothing more and less. In addition, church, home, and school are equally important. Nothing should be ignored. Removing one of them is like breaking one leg of a chair. Home should not allow children and only hope for the church and school. Church and school must also be partner, not enemy. The school teaches what to teach, and so does the church. When all three are responsible and nothing is broken, then the child will grow according to the Bible and the value of Christianity.
Next, our group will explain about the challenge of Christian religious education. We cannot disprove that there are facts about culture that have influenced for Christian educational institutions. Apart from that, there are also other factors such as government, financials, and social policy, which also influence that lack of Christian schools. So that over time there are a challenge in Christian religious education. First is about the secularism. This is related to the mass media like television, film, music, and the internet. The mass media in this case acts as if it wants to move religion from the public field and move to schools to the private sector. Things like this that indicate that strength can symbolize faith as something stupid and include individualism, consumerism, hedonism, and relativism that tempts idols. Second is about the consumerism. This is related to promoting the idea that the church and school have become one. Therefore, from now, parents need to differentiate it between the options with regard to school enrollment for their children. In the school concept, many Christian schools add a layer of Christian values to their curriculums. After that, outside the Christian schools, parents prefer schools that are based off family values. Besides that, there are also several other school options such as homeschooling, virtual schools, and joint schools. After that, on the part of consumerism, it's turned out to raise a questions for parents. Will the high costs included for their children's Christian educations will make their children get a high-paying jobs? And that's the problems. And the last is about relativism. This includes the assumptions that truth is relative, which means there is no absolute truth. This brings us to the understanding that what we think is true is not always true, because it could be wrong in another perspective. Therefore, the history of each person can shape individual ways of thinking and perceptions of truth.
The conclusion of reflections on Christian education is we have to continue what's the value of Christian education and also Christian and education, not only by ourselves but also by the three things on the metaphor of Threelegged tool, that is church, home, and school. Each of it connected to each other and it also connected to us and can't be separated. These things have some benefits if we continue to do it, even though there might be some problems in these modern days that we face, but still, it is always be useful for the Christian communities now and also in the future. That's all. Thank you.